today I want to walk you through the hydrologic cycle, aka the water cycle. So there's a lot going on in this picture. I'm going to take it piece by piece. First of all, solar heating is going to fuel this cycle. Solar heating is going to allow for transpiration, evaporation, condensation, all of this, okay? Let's start in close. When it rains, the water is going to be infiltrated or it percolates into the ground. It can then be held as groundwater in an aquifer. Some of that water is going to run off onto the surface. Some is going to be taken up by plants. The water that's taken up by the plants is going to transpire through this process of transpiration. So water is being released from the plants, and this is being fueled by the sun. When there's a lot of rain, some of the water will run off as surface runoff. The water from precipitation is going to be carried to lakes, streams, and oceans. At this point, that water vapor from the surfaces or bodies of water is going to also rise due to the energy from the sun, and this is called evaporation. Sometimes these two are put together for like a total amount of water that has come from plants and water, and this is called evapotranspiration. Once all of this has risen, it's going to condense, cool, and then precipitation will happen. This is going to be in the form of rain, sleet, or snow. So, pretty simple. Sun fuels this entire cycle. It rains, water runs off into large bodies of water. Some of it trickles down into the earth. This is a cutout from the section of earth, by the way. Some goes into groundwater, some runs off. It's then taken back up using energy from the sun, and the entire cycle starts over again. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit on the back about water more in depth. So I'm going to zoom in for us. We need water for multiple things. We need it to live. We need it for our climate. Water is a greenhouse gas. It controls our climate. It actually accounts for about 60% of our warming effect. Water is also used to sculpt land and make changes through erosion. It's a universal solvent, which means it's going to interact with all of the other cycles. It's used for purification. We use it a lot for industry and waste management. And most of our body is made of water, so we have to have water to survive. Although we rely on water so much, we have really impacted this water cycle in different ways. For one, we're using water a whole lot faster than it's being replenished. We are also doing a lot of things that have increased pollutants and runoff, and this causes issues not just for the water cycle, but all of life in general. We have reduced infiltration by paving roads and parking lots. This is going to prevent water from recharging the aquifers, the groundwater. This increases our flood risk. So, for example, we had a lot of rain from a hurricane this week. We had a lot of flash flooding. That's because there's so much pavement that the water cannot percolate back into the ground fast enough. And so then it overwhelms the systems that we have in place, like water sewage systems and such, water intake on roads and in parking lots. This flash flooding and other impacts on the water cycle are going to accelerate the topsoil erosion. And then we're also altering weather by impacting the water cycle. As we continue to cut down wood, we are reducing transpiration. This is going to reduce precipitation. Taking away trees reduces shade, and that creates quicker evaporation. So we're really just throwing this whole thing out of whack. So here we are, water cycle. Human impacts, we've got to have water to live. And this is how it all works. One big cycle powered by the sun. Alright, thanks guys. That's all.